It's Monday night. It's your girl Shannon Deneen and Melissa, and we are live on the curve. Yes,
I'm mad I just
back.
did that tambourine
Yeah, you
clap.
PK.
That's where it came from. That's where it came from.
PK.
That tambourine, I was like,
Yes. Somebody's been to church.
oh gosh. Yeah.
Hey y'all, we are glad you are back with us on the curve. We are super excited. We have a great show for you today.
As always.
Y'all. We just gonna cut up and kick it.
Listen. We really need to do a tacos and tequila special.
Okay, listen. Next week.
Okay, next week. Next week. That'll be a good week.
Listen, I will. Yeah, that'll be. Oh yeah, that will be because we have a guest coming in next week.
Oh gosh.
Tacos and tequila. I love it. Oh my gosh. Well, friend, how was your weekend? Or how was your week? Like, it's been a whole week. We hadn't even talked this week.
So y'all pray for me. I just saw a mom I saw a meme on social media that said, "Pray for your friends that have daughters with smart mouths."
Because nobody test your gangster.
Let me tell you something.
Like a daughter.
I had to remind my daughter, "Your mother is from Flint, Michigan."
Amen.
Like, please don't do me. Don't try Jesus. Don't try your mama. Please
try Jesus.
Yeah.
Don't try me. Listen, that blessed baby, she is a blessing. She is a wonderful girl, but she is a tween. What? No, she's a preteen. She's what are we calling them these days?
Nothing. Nothing. She is herself, and she gonna get stomped 2 feet shorter if she keep it up. Like, period.
She is a daughter.
So
yes.
One of my friends tried to throw me under the bus.
What you mean? What happened?
She said, so I told her we had a little situation that occurred.
Okay.
And I shared with my friend what happened. And she was like, "That's you all over again."
Whoa. When that life come at you fast, don't it? It's hard,
Wait a minute. I had an attitude. Two people told me that.
Oh.
One person that I met in middle school and one person, my line sister that I met in college.
Yeah.
And I said, no, not that are out.
Yeah.
No, that's not me.
That's
but
your baby.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah, you spit her right on out. Yeah, that's
it
you.
Is.
And with that smart mouth and all that extra petty, yeah, that's you.
Oh, she She's petty.
Real petty.
Baby, I should have named her Petty LaBelle. She petty.
She is, but she got it honest. She got it fresh and honest.
But you know what? God is good all the time, and all the time God is good, and so He's going to get us both through this. How has your week been, friend?
You know what? I actually had an amazing weekend. I went to this past weekend. I went to the Women Who Rock Awards
Were
ceremony.
You on like a pageant or something? A pageant show?
Well, I was doing some lives. I was, hosting
I
some
saw
stuff.
you.
It was lovely and amazing.
No Twitter beef this week, right?
No Twitter beef this week. Just connecting with other women.
I felt that in my shana.
Did you feel it in your shana?
Yeah, because I'm tired of you beefing with people on Twitter.
But the people on Twitter want it. Like, they be ready. Girl,
you know what?
Ready. But I went to the Women Who Rock Awards. It was amazing. Shout out to Demetria Bowie and her team. They did a phenomenal job.
Tell me about that.
Okay, so Demetria Bowie, she's a young woman. She is a publisher. She is a publisher and has a publishing company, and she is out of Louisiana. And every year she gives, I think it's 8 to 10 awards of women for women in the community nationwide who have shown leadership abilities.
So it's local here in Atlanta?
Well, no, she did it in Atlanta this year.
Okay.
She's done it in Louisiana before. She's done it I think she did it in Texas one year. Like, she's done it some different places, but she is an amazing young woman. She has published over 40 or 50 books.
Really?
For women.
Wow.
She is a sister in Christ. Like, she has a very strong faith, and just brought together and one of her really special platforms is teaching women and helping women after they've been divorced and kind of and helping women to in their
Get
life
up
after
so
divorce.
they're not stuck.
So they're not stuck. And so she had
Absolutely.
a panel of women talking about life after divorce, like in the middle of the award ceremony. It was really nice. We had brunch.
They
after
should have
dark.
called me.
They should have called you because you,
Let me tell
friends,
you
are
something.
living your best life.
Let
Do
me
you
tell you something.
understand
Y'all
me?
wouldn't even know I was divorced if I ain't tell you. Matter of fact, there's some people in my family that didn't know. It happened so fast, and I recouped so fast.
Yeah, because what did grandmama say? Time
Listen,
waits for no man. Time waits for no man.
No man.
So,
She said, "Girl, don't waste all that pretty."
nope, we can't waste the pretty. Not at
Wow,
all.
well, I'm happy to hear
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, it
We'll
was
have to
dope.
go next year.
Absolutely. Like, she's gonna do it again. She is dope. She's so dope. So we will definitely go again. I'm gonna post some of the video interviews that I did live on the red carpet, to my page, to the Curve page, to her page. So be on the lookout for those. The website is ready. The Curve website is ready. So you will, before the end of the week, we will go live with the website.
I'm happy about that.
Yes, child, the website took a little time, but God bless. So we'll put all of those interviews on the website so you guys can see them. But we had a phenomenal time, and it was some really dope women, some great networking. So I had fun. It was good.
Glad.
child.
I'm happy
It's
for it.
good.
I'm all about people living their best life. So, in
Yes.
spite of that hiccup in my life, with
It
that
wasn't a
dear
hiccup.
child of mine.
No, it wasn't a hiccup. Listen.
So we're gonna
that
talk about
baby-
some stuff
Yeah.
today.
Yeah.
But can I give them a little intro to what happened to me?
Give them a look. Yes. Get the people.
So the intro is
Oh Lord Jesus.
now I haven't had, in my opinion, a city girl summer, hot girl summer.
You didn't have a hot girl summer.
I ain't have a hot girl summer.
But you could have. You just.
But
chose
let me
not
tell you something. It might be a hot girl fall. It might be a hot girl fall.
Yes.
Because let me tell you something. I'm a believer that it is okay to love, and you gotta love yourself first.
Yeah,
Because when you
absolutely.
love yourself and you really love your life,
Yeah.
there's a different type
You
of
move
energy
different.
that
You
you
move
attract.
different.
You feel different.
You
Your
move
conversations
different.
are a little lighter.
Yeah.
So I got invited to a birthday party. Child, let me tell you.
Oh, wait, hold on. You gotta wait until that when you gotta wait.
Oh, so that's gonna be part. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, you gotta wait.
We can.
till that.
Okay,
You gotta
go
wait till
ahead.
that. Okay, so we can get on into it, y'all, because we got, like you can see, we got juicy stuff to talk about.
Yes.
It is time now for everybody's favorite part of the show, word on the street. Okay, so before we get to the juiciness of Melissa's life, let me just tell y'all, your boy Jay-Z is out here in these streets making boss moves. Ooh, I see it's going to be that kind of show. So let me tell y'all, let me just start it off and let you know what your boy Jay-Z is out here doing. So this past week, Jay-Z had a press conference with the NFL. Rock Nation has partnered with the NFL to work on their diversity, to work on their social justice programs, and it has also been reported that Jay-Z is now a part owner in one of the major league teams. We don't know, not major league, the NFL teams. We don't know which one yet, but it has been rumored that he is a part owner at this point in time, and that he'll be working with the NFL to help them do what he calls actionable items towards social justice.
Can our producer cue the OJ's backstabber, please? Please.
The shade, no.
Please. Go ahead, finish.
So the table, the question for the audience and for the table this evening, we're gonna start off with Jay-Z, boss moves or sellout.
Well, here's the thing. I think that let me break this down from one Sag to another, because Jay-Z is a pure Sag. He was born December 4th.
Yes, he was.
There's a part where lateral movement is very important.
Absolutely.
Right? Servitude, all of those things are very important to us. However, my stance on this, I think it was great for him in his empire. However, I don't think that it was good for the community. It could go one or two ways. The first thing is, yes, he's part owner of a team, right? They give it to him because at one point he was trying to go in with he and Diddy and some other people were trying to buy a team. but they were going to be minority owners.
Right.
But now he will be one of the primary owners of this team, supposedly. But
Supposedly.
Allegedly. But my thing is, Colin Kaepernick is still without a job.
That part.
Now, here's the other part about it. And he can say that it was about social justice and there had to be an action item afterwards. See, the fine print people says that people are still being penalized if they take a knee.
They are.
They're still being penalized. So if I desire to protest in a non-confrontational manner, I'm still going to be penalized. However, you're part owner. So what we're going to do, have all the people of color or all the people that want to kneel, go work for you? And then the thing about it is, you know, the question was asked about Colin Kaepernick. How come he wasn't brought into it? He can't. He signed an NDA with the NFL.
Yeah.
He can't. So his hands are tied. And the NFL never ever stated that they tried to blackball this black man for what he stood for. And what he was standing for was bringing light to the social justice issues that are going on.
The commissioner actually did talk a little bit during the press conference. I don't know if you saw it.
I saw it. He didn't say we are guilty of.
No, he didn't. He actually said the very opposite. He said Colin Kaepernick can come back to the NFL anytime he wants to and try out for any team he wants to. He never talked about
why should he have to try out when you have these people who were third and fourth string players that are getting signed and his numbers are way better. So why should he have to try out?
I don't.
And he has to be offered.
Yeah,
he has to be offered the opportunity.
Absolutely.
So that is a PC move. I'm saying as president of the NFL that he is more than welcome to come back. But who's going to offer him a position?
I feel like my biggest problem with it, or let me say this, not my problem first. I'm going to say my hope. My biggest hope for this is that Jay-Z comes in, hires a whole bunch of people of color.
How about hires Colin Kaepernick?
And then that's what I'm saying. And then loopholes a way to bring Colin Kaepernick in. Somehow, I want him to be a minority owner, a majority. Like I want him to be a part of this conversation and a part of this deal. And I'm hoping and crossing my fingers that is what Jay-Z is going to do. That there's a plan that we just don't see.
But Jay has been known for making boss moves that left other people out. Now I'm just gonna
absolutely.
Historically he's been known for, and I really admire the courage to say, okay, I'm gonna take this meeting and this is what we're gonna do and make some negotiations, because really anybody could have done it. Like anybody could have done, but who wanted to have the goal and the balls to go out and say, I'm gonna meet with Roger Goodell. This is what I'm negotiating from my end.
Yeah.
I just want to see how this is gonna play out. Like it can appear as a sellout move and it could appear as a boss move as well. But at the end of the day, while the dollars are still in your pocket, are our communities still being hurt?
Those are facts. Now, there was a part of this that I didn't like.
Okay.
There's a part of this whole story that I struggle with. So, Colin Kaepernick's best friend, Eric Reed, who still plays for the Panthers. Yeah, he plays for the Panthers. Hopped on the press conference and called Jay-Z's move disgusting. That's what he said. He said this
low
is
key
disgusting.
the girlfriend did too.
Yeah, low key
the girlfriend came out and was like, that's a lie, they've never met.
So
and sat down and talked about what he just did.
But here's my struggle.
Okay.
Here's my struggle.
Come on, friend.
Here's my struggle. You can't get mad at me for taking the NFL money when you've been playing for the NFL for 2-3 years since all this happened. Now you still getting your paycheck and you ain't missed no millions. None.
But I don't think I hear you. I think it's the positioning for the culture. It's the positioning. Like I hear exactly what you're saying. But I also think it's the positioning for the culture. My thing is, I feel like we need to, before we judge, because Jay-Z he's always been that.
He is moving a room full of vultures kind of dude. Right. I'm okay with that.
And so, and we never really understood his why. You know, just like when he took Kanye from Dame Dash.
Absolutely.
Like, we never understood his why, and Kanye and Dame ended up circling back. You know, Dame being that Leo, he couldn't let it go. Jesus.
He still can't let it go.
But he ended up circling back like, hey, this is what's going on. But my thing is, I think we need to let this play out a little more.
I agree.
I think, because I want to see if he brings Colin Kaepernick in some way, somehow, to work in the NFL in another capacity.
Absolutely.
I'm all for it.
I'm all for that.
I'm for it.
And as a matter of fact, I would prefer, like, I know Colin Kaepernick loves football and I want him to do what he loves.
Yes.
But I equally want him to be in charge of some things. Like, I want him to have a position, a leadership role, not just a figurehead position, but I want him to have a leadership role in which he can make some real effective change, where he can,
and to me,
to make some things happen.
That Jay-Z, in watching it, I felt like he kind of has a little chip on his shoulder.
He does.
When Charlemagne the God was asking him questions.
Yeah.
It was kind of like he went into the Breakfast Club before. He's visited once.
Yeah.
And the Breakfast Club is notorious for their interviews.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, they gave him the respect and decency that, you know, he should have been given, but he still had a chip on his shoulder, like, why are you asking me this? You know why he's asking you this. You called a press conference.
Job.
Like, everybody, he's going to be the one person in the room to ask the questions for the culture that the people want to know.
Well, they call him the voice of the culture now.
Yeah.
You know, like, that's his whole job, and I respect him
Yeah,
for it.
like,
lots of people think Charlemagne's just doing it for the shock jock value, and I think at one point in his career
he
that
did,
was true.
but now
But
he's more pathetic.
I think he is really down for black people, and I think that the culture, he is really trying to push the culture forward.
And I'm not even going to say black people. I would say even the hip-hop culture.
Yeah, hip-hop in
like,
general.
just the hip-hop culture in general, just the way that he's gotten behind mental health illnesses, the way that he's gotten, like, they had some people on today, a lady that was a comedian, and they were talking about the voice of the comedian.
Yeah.
And why should everything be scripted, and why are people so hypersensitive? Like, if you pay to go, it used to be a time, like, when I was growing up, that you knew my granddad would watch Richard Pryor. He had Richard Pryor records. Well, you knew when Richard Pryor came on, you had to get out the room.
That's it.
You know, so you know when you pay this money, anything could be said. And so he said, when do we stop?
We were super safe, so we didn't get to watch Richard Pryor in my house.
Let me tell you
but
something.
I get it.
Let me tell you something. My mama was super saved, but I was in that room on Channel 39. That was HBO in Flint, with them lines going across. Watching Robin Williams stand up, having my ear almost to the TV so I could hear it. I get it.
And my daddy was cheap, so we didn't have cable.
Yeah. We had cable, but we ain't had them premium channels.
Yeah.
I was watching through the lines. See, these kids don't know nothing
They
about
don't
the
know
lines.
about the lines.
You could watch you a good movie through the lines.
Through the whole line.
Now you just get that gray screen. Not subscribe to this channel.
Please call Comcast on this one.
Right.
Oh gosh. Well, from boss moves to more boss moves, child. The next story makes my heart so happy. So, your girl, curvy girl extraordinaire, and one of my faves, Oscar winner Octavia Spencer, has been chosen to do the role of Madam C.J. Walker.
Yes.
She will be on Netflix. Will be airing it in 2020. They haven't said when yet, but she will be joined by Tiffany Haddish. Just signed on to play the granddaughter, and I am so excited about this.
I'm excited. Let me tell you why I'm so excited about this whole movie, because I'm excited that Madam C.J. Walker's great-great-grandchildren just bossed up and took over her trust. Like, turned that whole thing, because remember we reported earlier this year how they went and bought her mansion back. The family bought the mansion back, and they turned it into an entrepreneurship incubator for women. And to me, that's phenomenal. And now they're coming out with this movie. Like, please, because she just didn't invent the pressing comb, the hair grease, and things of that nature. She has so many things, and she really made boss moves in regards to business and entrepreneurship with women.
Yeah.
At a time where it was unheard of.
Unheard of. Here's the thing. Did you know, though, that Madam C.J. Walker did not come up with none of them products.
Shut up.
Listen, I'm about to tell y'all something you didn't know. Madam C.J. Walker, there is another black woman who actually has in the granddaughter's book. What? In the granddaughter's book, she talks about
the granddaughter of who?
Madam C.J. Walker.
Okay.
In her book that she released, which Netflix is that's how this movie is coming about. Netflix is turning the book into a movie.
Girl, I'm getting all the tea. Come on.
So there's actually a woman, and I'm looking up her name right now. But Madam C.J. Walker, used to sell her products.
So she was a distributor.
She was a distributor
Boss
of those
move.
products originally, and then she took those products, rebranded them as her own.
That's what I'm talking about.
So but they worked together. It wasn't like she was stealing them or taking them.
She didn't Jay-Z them.
She didn't. She didn't.
She didn't. Let Dave Dash tell it.
Yeah.
She didn't.
No, she did not.
Jay-Z.
No, she did not Jay-Z him. Jay-Z, the woman, she actually asked. She was distributing her products. Then she took those products, rebranded them, and then started to create her own. But the woman who came before her was actually a chemist and loved hair.
Wow.
And that's how she came up with a lot of the products.
Look at them working together.
Yes, they were working together, but a lot of people don't know about, and I'm going to give you guys her name. And Madam C.J. Walker's real name is Sarah Breedlove, for those of you who do not know. But Annie Turnbow Malone. And
Shout
I'm
out to Annie Turnbow Malone. Look at that.
The hair care entrepreneur. So the reason people were talking about her, this even became a story, is
you were
because
on Twitter.
Well, yep.
You were on Twitter.
And y'all's president shouted her out.
Somebody told him. He didn't know it.
He did not know
Who
it.
almost said something?
No, right then.
He didn't know that.
He did not. But so he shouted her out in a speech that he gave, and people were like, "Who is that?" And so in the granddaughter's book, she talks about it. So of course it came up on a search. But the granddaughter of Madam C.J. Walker's book actually says she was the first woman to reach millionaire status at the end of World War I. And she gave Mogul Walker her start to the cosmetics industry. Real talk.
Learn something new every day.
Learn something.
Wow.
Yes. After starting a hair care line inspired by Malone's products, Walker became one of the wealthiest Americans.
Don't tell me more. I want to watch the movie.
Oh, okay.
Is there a book?
Yes, there is.
Put the book on the page so we
Okay.
can go and get it.
I will put the book on the page. But yeah, there is. I mean, they worked together. Madam C.J. Walker became a household name. But she got her start from Annie Turnbow.
Shout out to Friends Helping Friends.
Yes,
that's what I'm talking about.
And they both got rich.
Each one, reach one, teach one.
Yeah, well, but I think they are a lesson. I wish that was the story, because Madam C.J. Walker is amazing, and we know she is a part of Black history, and she has changed beauty and health and beauty for Black women and women all over the world. She changed the game. But I wish that I wish that I had previously known the story about the two of them working together, because so often in history, we get pitted against each other.
Something's left out.
Things are left out. It's always that we can't work together
Absolutely.
as women. We can't do this and we can't do that.
Absolutely.
And to see that these two women both came up together by helping each other out, that is an amazing story to me. I love it.
Shout out to friends who help friends.
Shout out to friends who help friends.
Friends that build businesses together.
Friends that build businesses together.
Listen, let's get these coins together.
Come on, y'all.
I'm all for it.
You know what? But I think that's an important point, because I think we're starting to get there.
I do, but I think that there has to be a certain level of trust. There has to be a certain level of transparency.
You don't think we trust
There
each
has
other?
to be. Who, me and you?
No.
Let me tell you something. So, I have this business, right? One day I go over her house and I'm telling her about the business.
Listen,
She done jumped in my business.
I'd be excited.
And said, I got this for the spin-off business. So when you selling yours, I'm selling mine. Now I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna settle this little situation with my business partner. She done jumped in the business, and then you know what? Because my thing is I listen, and I'm always be a good supporter
Yeah.
friend. I am, and I thought it was great, and
It
I was
is.
like, yes.
It's dope.
I said, she said, friend, did I just jump in your business? Yeah.
Yep. She didn't say nothing. She was like, And y'all,
She was gone.
I have called my auntie.
Listen,
got
but I
recipes.
told her, here's the thing. I was like, listen, we can both sell them at the same place.
Absolutely.
We can both sell them. I'm all for it.
Going to.
Yeah, I am. I'm getting ready to make some this weekend.
Yes. Yes. Bring them by. Bring them by the house.
Yeah, I got something for you.
It is important. Let's go to social media. What do people saying?
I don't know.
What are people saying over
They're
here?
not saying anything. Shout out to Joanne. Hey, Joanne.
Hey, Joanne.
Where's Molly Ann? Where's Miss Molly Ann at tonight?
That's an excellent question.
Because she usually jumps in.
She normally hops in and says something. I don't know where she is, maybe.
Are your people and my people on the same page?
They are.
So I feel like we need to go ahead and talk about the next topic, because I don't even think we need a sisterhood moment to talk about this topic.
Okay.
Like,
I'll give you that.
it's-
Sorry, y'all.
I feel like we don't even need a sisterhood moment to really talk about this.
Okay, we'll hop into it and then.
Come on, because I want to finish telling the people about the rest of my story.
Okay, all right. So we'll hop into it, and then what we'll do first is we will take a very brief commercial break, and then when we come back, we will hop into the next topic, which is all the juice.
Come on, yeah.
We'll be right back with more of the Curve. All right, guys, we are back, and we're about to hop into this.
Please.
Because y'all, I don't know if y'all have been watching Black Love on OWN. Have y'all been watching Black Love on OWN?
It's a phenomenal show.
Okay, so it's in its second season.
No, this is the third one.
Third season.
Third
It
season.
is in its third season, and this time around, they are highlighting some interesting folks. Candy and Ty Burris.
Michael Elliott and his wife.
Michael Elliott and his wife.
David and Tamla Mann.
What is the child name who sings Torn? LaToya Luckett and her husband. Just some interesting, some social media influencers who I thought was really cool. Maddie James, who is a social media. She came up on the YouTube and the Twitter, and Kev on Stage and his wife on there. So it is a wide span. Terry Crews and his wife, who are funny. They are so funny to me. But there are just a myriad of people on there. And they have been talking about wonderful topics. And first of all,
I love love.
I love love.
I love love.
Before I get started, I'm going to say shout out to OWN for trying to, their intentions are wonderful. Like, they are trying to promote happy Black love in
and
the
it's
media.
the couples it isn't just heterosexual couples. Like this season,
Right.
they have homosexual couples on there.
Yeah,
Those who
yeah.
identify as homosexual couples
Yeah,
on there.
yeah. They have a little bit of everybody.
Come on,
But
friend.
my girl, one of my friends on social media said some interesting things. She actually just tuned in. Thank you so much. Hey, Portia, how you doing? So we were talking about. I was on somebody else's page on Facebook, not Twitter. I was on somebody else's page.
So glad.
I was on somebody else's page talking about black love, and she brought up a topic that I am so like I agree with. I was throwing stuff at the computer screen. I agree so much. It was the concept of this struggle love
That we love. Like everybody loves the love in basketball.
Yes.
Let me tell you something about love in basketball. He would have been by himself. He would have been by himself, and y'all would have been. You would have seen me married to Kobe.
Alone.
That would have been the end.
So alone. He would have been so alone. So I'm gonna read a portion of because her post was just so good. Like I don't even want to take the words. I just want to read it. Yes, that is it. Okay. So here we go. She says, and I quote, and it was so perfect that I just wanted to read it word for word. In the documentary, we see a few couples whose origin stories involves the man putting the wife in the friends with benefits zone for years before he finally commits. We all know some couples who started this way, where the woman desires exclusivity much sooner than the man, and she waits, sometimes for years, until he too decides he wants to be fully committed and monogamous. If she's lucky, in the end, he marries her. But no one talks about what happens to her sense of security and self-worth in the meantime. By the time she gets the ring, this relationship could have made her untrusting, unsure of herself and of him, suspicious, manipulative, and made her feel the need to continually prove herself and her value. It's not healthy. In this docuseries, every time this subject comes up, you can see the discomfort on the wives' faces and in their body language. The evidence of the scars are still there years into marriage for them. Frankly, I feel bad for any woman who has entered marriage against this type of relational backdrop. You deserve someone who intentionally and deliberately chooses you and continually chooses you first. Someone who makes you the only option, not someone who finally realized you are his best option.
Shout out to Portia.
Come
on, Portia.
I lived, honey.
Listen, we got in the car and we both were like, did you see Portia's post?
Yes,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, we did.
It
we did.
was amazing.
I lived.
Let me tell y'all something.
I lived, child.
I am all for you friends on me, I friends on you. Like my friend zone, matter of fact, I'm not even.
You're going to be real bad at my
Let me tell you something. Because in my friend zone, you getting ready to get behind all these other dudes in line. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, my grandmother used to say, time waits on no man. Like I have friend zoned so many people I have dated. I am really intentional about saying what I want. You know what I mean? Like if I'm entering, it's some stuff we're not going to do until you tell me that we're exclusive. I'm not going to force your hand, but I tell you what I'm not going to do. You're not going to be running up, like my grandmother used to say, my Michigan Belle line all night. That's what you're not going to do because you're wasting breath and air and time that somebody else could have.
But here's the thing. So here's the other part of that. Because we talked about, on the way over here, we talked about self-esteem and how that plays into this so much.
Absolutely.
Here's the thing, though, that I think may play a part in your story. You have, so a lot of times in our society, we place a lot of value on being chosen. We place a lot of value on being married and being picked. And even though you're married, even though you're divorced now, you've been picked before. So you have the luxury of saying, well, I can friend zone him because, and I can do whatever. Now, you know me, I'm a fan of the friend zone. No.
I picked him. He didn't pick me. I picked him. Let me tell you how this went down. He worked at Marshall's back when Marshall Fields when we were in college. And I worked at Lady Foot Locker. And I used to see him and he was so fine to me. And all I wanted him to do was to see me. And then he acted like he didn't ever see me, and we had a mutual friend. Like my manager was his roommate. And so what ended up happening is I had to tell his roommate, like, hey, let your boy know, like, I think he's cute. So he tried to play your girl, like, oh, hey, she's cute, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then I'm gonna show you better than I can tell you. So he started coming around, and he tried to play me in the friend zone. So I put him back in the friend zone, the I'm not interested cordial zone. And that's when he got his act right.
Well, that could be true. I mean, but I'm saying, like, a lot of times I feel like women who have not yet been chosen make decisions about who
off
they
of emotion.
date, off of emotion, off of, oh my God, I'm gonna be lonely. Oh my God, I'm gonna be this. Oh my God, I'm gonna be that. Oh my God, I'm never gonna have kids. Oh my God. By the way, these kids, like, listen, ladies, if
It's
you're
overrated.
single, I tell people all the time,
It's overrated.
I love the babies. I love my babies. I love all the babies. But children are not like, this ain't no movie. This ain't no Lifetime movie.
I'm coming up off a situation, so you might not want to talk to me about mine. I'm coming up off because I gave somebody some bad advice today. I'm just gonna tell you something. I was like, did they pass that law yet? No, I'm just playing.
You know, no. Listen, I love kids, but to be perfectly honest, motherhood is one of the hardest things I have ever done. I do not think that you should enter into it lightly. I think that you have to be and don't let the rest of society tell you all the things you need to think about having children.
Absolutely.
And all the things you need, because if you're not ready, this can be impossible. And I say this all the time.
But in all fairness,
hold on, I say this all the time, and I it's not because I agree with this, but I completely 100% understand why some people who are not mentally stable or ready for kids harm their children. And that is exactly what I think happens when you're not ready. You know those crazy mamas who
wait
throw
a minute,
their
I
babies
was
off.
with you and then I just fell off the train.
No, you didn't. Listen,
yes, I did.
Listen,
yes,
there are mothers out there who are not ready for this and who are not strong enough to do this. And when they are not,
oh, okay. So you're saying when
they're
they're not stably ready, they make inappropriate choices.
They make inappropriate choices when it comes to their kids.
But here's the thing: I think that maturity is a factor,
Absolutely.
especially within any relationship. And I think that you have to love yourself before you can love anyone else. I do think there's a sacrifice that comes with being in a relationship.
Yes.
In all fairness, however, I also think that, as a woman, every woman wants that happy ending. But I feel like for far too long, we have allowed other people to dictate what that ending looks like.
Facts.
So I'm going to bring the story into play.
Okay.
That I was telling you about. So I go to this party and I walk in. Guess what? I run into this guy that about maybe 2.5 years ago, I'll say 2.5, maybe 3 years ago, we were exchanging information on Facebook, had a phenomenal time. Well, when I met him, and I wasn't the size that I am now, I was smaller, maybe about 40 pounds smaller. He looked at me like he lost his appetite. You know what I mean? And I mean, we had been laughing and talking, wasn't any big deal. And he wanted us, we were going to go running on the belt line, which was cool. But it was hot as all, like my niece said, it was hot as hell outside. It was inappropriate. But anyways.
It's okay.
It was hot outside. We went running and like he took off and he left me. And I was like, oh, this dude is rude. Like he's rude. Like if you really trying to court me, you going to jog. Like you going to hold my hand. We're going to jog. And I never got this from him while we were going back and forth. So anyway, we ended up, we went back to our cars. I listened to him. Both of our cars ended up getting booted over there by Iris Garden, which pissed me off. So, I never heard from him after that. Never heard from him. Our circles overlap, and, I just never heard from him over again. Oh, but I go to this birthday party, and guess who's there? So I walk in like Diana Ross. You know, when it was raining and her hair was flowing in the air?
Yes, friend, yes.
I walk in, and we are everybody's like, hey, Missy, what's going on? Laughing and talking, and guess who's there? Mr. Ghostface. So he's there, but I didn't even give it any energy. And so I turn around, I'm having such a great time. Like 3 dudes literally were shooting their shot. Like my friend's husband calls it, he said we had the Golden State Warriors in the house. Because it was so crazy. Like I got up to get something to drink and another guy was like pouring my drink and he's like, why don't you let me tape your toes up? Like I work in the doctor's office. I do this, this, and this. And I'm like, man. So if you didn't know, my toes are broken anyway.
That's a pickup line, y'all. Let me take
Yes.
your toes.
And
Hey,
then
girl,
I
let me
sit
take
down
your
on the
toes.
couch, and one of the dudes is like, I'm looking for a wife.
Hey!
And then another guy was like, hey, I heard that you had a daughter. I have this many daughters, and this is what I do, and I've gotten these people scholarships. And I'm like, man, but what if I had have waited for that dude and been like, let me see if he'll like me a little more. Let me reach out to him. Let me see if I lose weight.
Especially curvy women, because I think there's such a stereotype and a misconception out there about what is happening in the world of curves. And I don't ever think, ma'am, if you are out there and you are listening to me and you are, as the pastor say, under the sound of my voice, let me tell you, you can be out here living your best life.
Yes.
Do you understand me? I have never in all of my days thought that I was not a top-notch chick. We'll just say that. Like not ever. And I was telling Melissa earlier, that might have something to do with the fact that I was raised in the South.
Yeah.
And at being a woman who was raised in the South, listen,
there's a big difference.
I have always had these assets.
Here we go.
I have always had these hips. They ain't been nowhere. I've gained weight, but listen, there's always been a lot of me to love. And I've never felt, I have always felt attractive. I've always felt admired. I've always felt sought after. And part of that, I think, has to do. Listen, if you're a curvy girl and you feel like you ain't getting no play, you need to come down to Atlanta for a weekend or two.
Let me tell you something.
You gonna get
it's
all the
a different
boys.
type of love.
It's a different kind of
It's
love.
a different type of love.
It
And
is.
even those in these social circles, there's a guy that shall remain nameless. Like every time I'm at any type of event, he's pulling out my chair. He is like, hey, can I get you something? What's going on? And somebody said, he undercover loves the curvy girls. Mm-hmm. I can tell. Like, you're going to get love. But the thing that bothered me so much about this is so often in so many stories, like, you see these people waiting for years and years. Mm-mm. Like, let me tell you something. My grandmother, I told Shannon, my grandmother used to tell me, time waits on no man. Mm-hmm. Don't waste your pretty. And I have been in relationships. I ain't even gonna say relationships. I have had potentials. Like there's one guy specifically. He has said, I don't understand what happened to us. You happened to us. Yeah. You happened to us.
I was good.
Yeah, like my thing is I sit them down.
Yeah.
I sit them down. I'm real close.
Oh, okay.
I sit them down. Hey, I want to be in an exclusive relationship.
Yeah.
This is about, we're clear in the 90 days.
Okay.
We clear. This ain't a month in. Yeah. We 90 days, we kicked it. You've taken up a lot of my time that I really don't have that much of.
Okay, now, Melissa.
What?
Because I know you move a little quick now. Like,
I want to know what's your point.
Melissa don't give them time to get warm. And you don't give them,
so how long you supposed to be? So what? How long do you wait? Okay, my ex-husband, we were friends for a whole year.
Uh-huh.
We were just friends for a whole year.
Okay.
And with my ex-husband, we were friends for a whole year. And we hung out, and like he would pick me up from work, but I was trying to graduate, so I didn't care if he played somewhere else. Like I was focused on. But now I'm almost 40. Like I don't have time for that. Like, listen, after 90 days, because after 90 days of us hanging out, like if we're really friends, like David and Tamla Mann talked about how they were really friends.
Yeah.
But somewhere down the line, like they started being intimate.
Yeah. And
she was engaged, and he done had some kids over here. Like that's too much confusion. That's too much. See, we're not even getting ready to go that far because I'm going to ask you. I'm going to say to you, this is how the conversation goes.
Okay.
Hey, I just wanted to let you know that I really enjoy spending time with you. Like, I really enjoy being around you. And I really see this going to another level, right?
Okay.
So I
Another
desire,
level up.
listen, I desire to be in an exclusive relationship where we can get to know each other even more.
Okay.
Is that what you desire?
Okay, so what if dude says, I really like you. I think you are amazing. I am not particularly, I don't know if I'm there yet in relationship status quite yet. But can we date some more? Would
You know
that
what?
be acceptable?
Yes, it is. And then he gets moved back to the back of the line.
Oh, Jesus.
He gets moved to the back of the line. He
Oh.
gets moved to, because you're telling me that I'm an option. You're telling me,
Okay.
and when I hear that, I hear, because usually I'm a less kicking, because now if I'm kicking it with you at this age, I'm paying somebody to watch my kid, right?
Now, these are facts.
So I'm paying someone to watch my kid. That's time away from my child. And it's kind of different when you have a daughter. But even before I had Milan, like, I have someone that I was in love with. Like, I loved him. And I know he loved me. Like, I know when we run into each other to this day, he'll be like, man, I messed that up. Because we sat down and I gave him that. And he was like, look, I think you're awesome. I think
For
you're
sure.
great. He was like, but I'm not really into that right now. Like, I don't want to be in an exclusive relationship.
Fair.
And I sat there and I was really hurt. But I said, cool. So what ended up happening is he would call, I wouldn't answer the phone. I answered when I felt like it.
Yeah.
Like, if you're gonna be my friend, be my friend. We're friends. Do I talk to you every day?
No.
So I'm not getting ready to do that with a man. Like, I'm gonna treat you like I treat the rest of my friends, because if I can't be your first option, I don't want to be an option. Like, let's really just be friends.
Okay. That's fair. I think that's actually all right.
I know. And he was saying, because one day we were talking, and he was like, "What happened to us? You told me you didn't want to be in an exclusive relationship." I said, "What was I supposed to do? Do you know this man told me you were supposed to wait? Only thing I'm waiting for is Jesus' return."
The Lord. I'm waiting on the Lord to see what the end gonna be.
I'm not waiting on nobody. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to rush anyone into anything.
Yeah.
I'm not
That's
trying to force
fair.
your hand either.
Agreed.
But what I'm going to do is move on with life.
Agreed. That
He was
that's-
sick.
Yeah.
He vomited when I had Milan.
Yeah,
Like, sick to
listen,
his stomach.
Listen, I 100% agree with that. And I tell people, and I feel like I can tell this story because my husband knows and understands. But before my husband proposed to me, I was on my way out the door.
But give them the quote, what he said to you.
He said, hold on, let me tell you.
Please, because that's the funny part.
I had decided that we had been together for a minute. And I decided that I was not taking this relationship into the next year the way it was. That we had been together long enough. We were doing stuff like going to look at houses together and talking about stuff. And but the proposal part wasn't happening. And I didn't think, I was like, you know what? I'm not taking this relationship into 2007 like this. This ain't the move. But I didn't tell him that. I told my best friend, but I didn't tell him. I just simply decided that on New Year's Eve, if we weren't engaged, he had to go. And so I started mentally, emotionally, and physically preparing for my departure.
Cleansing herself.
Cleansing
Of all
myself
particles of you.
Of all particles of you. I started not returning phone
Yeah.
calls and not returning text messages
Yes.
and all the stuff. And then lo and behold, magically on Christmas Eve, he proposed. But he told me, he was like, I could feel you leaving. He was like, I could feel it. I could feel you leaving. I had to do something because I knew.
He had to move quick.
He had to move quick. My husband is a man of action. You understand? He said,
Listen.
I can feel you leaving. Because I was like, well, I don't want to push you. That's not my
No.
judge. I'm not the ultimatum girl. I want you to do it because you want to do it. I want you to do it because that's where your heart is. I want you to do it because that's what that's what you want for your future.
Absolutely.
So I wasn't gonna give him the ultimatum. I just told myself, hey girl, he cool, you cool. This just might not be the
it
move.
might not be it.
It might not be the move.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
Timing is everything.
But here's the thing I want to say to women especially is, listen, don't ever be so in love that you are willing to sacrifice your self-esteem for a relationship.
Yes.
Like, don't it
Yes.
you should always be at a position where if he act a flat fool, you could be ready in a moment's notice.
This guy
to be
told
gone.
me, matter of fact, my daughter's godfather, and he was like king everything at Michigan State. Like, everybody knows him here in Atlanta. He had a couple of cigar bars here, but he said when women lose, and this is what made him choose his wife. He said you have to always remember you are the prize.
You are the prize.
You are the prize.
You are
hey,
the prize.
let it go. I'm gonna tell you something. My grandmother used to tell me this. She said, whatever you chase will run. And when have you ever seen a cat chasing a dog?
Come on, grandma.
So my advice is, remember, my sisterhood moment to you.
Amen.
My sisterhood moment to you is to remember that you are the prize. You were fearfully and wonderfully made.
Absolutely.
There's no greater person than you. You have your own purpose. You have so much in you that's meant for you to give to someone else that wants to give to you. You know what I mean? And I think that we need to be able to have that sister circle where we can be accountable.
Absolutely.
Where we can be very transparent and raw and have somebody build you up and not tear you down in those moments. Because I think that's what happens.
That's facts.
Because everybody on that show said they talked to a friend.
They did. But you need a friend that's going to be like, girl, if you don't friend zone him and move on with your life, that's the friend you need in your life.
Shannon's my friend that says, please stop putting them in the friend zone. You move too fast.
You move too fast. Listen,
put them in the friend zone.
Listen, it be week 1. And Melissa be like, by Friday, Melissa be like, oh, girl, I think you about to go to the friend zone. Wait a
I
minute.
just told her somebody else in the friend zone. She was like, what?
Did we at least learn his middle name first before
Don't even matter. Don't even matter. Jerome looked it up for me. And he ain't paid his dues
He ain't paid his dues.
1989.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well listen, we are being told we got to wrap, y'all. So we are going. It has been an amazing show, friend. Tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on Saving Superwoman on Instagram.
And you can find me, of course, at Shannon Deneen on all social media platforms, and also shannondeneen.com. Please make sure you go to our YouTube channel and subscribe. We're going to be, like I said, the website's going to be up later this week. So we're going to start doing all kinds of fun giveaways and prizes and all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned to keep it locked with us. Don't forget to work hard, pray hard, play hard, and slay hard. And don't forget to live life on the curve. Catch y'all next week.